Here is a Hampton Bay branded ceiling fan from 1990, February of 1990. It is model, it's too dark. We're still working out the lighting here, so bear with me if the lighting is not the greatest. It is model, well, this is proving to be more trouble than it's worth. It's model CMF-52. I'd like to get a clear picture of this information tag. There we go. February 1990. I think if we turn these lights off, it's a little better. So the model name to this one, well, first off, this is an air-cooled product, and the model name was the Windward. Now, Hampton Bay was known to reuse model names over the years, but this is kind of a ridiculous one because this Windward looks absolutely nothing like the Windward that was sold in the years following. I mean, you can't get any further away in terms of styling than this one and the Windward that came after it, as opposed to situations like with the Minuet, at least, where I can think of 5 different variations I know of that the Minuet was sold under, or that were sold under the Minuet name, but at least those were all either 30, 32, 36 inch small basic fans. Now they look different. I think one was actually a flush mount, the others were down red mount, etc. But it was all kind of the same product conceptually, whereas this is a basic traditional model, and the Windward was a high-end modern design with electronics controls, and the there was a certain name for the blades, something with the aerodynamics about the blades, because they weren't just basic flat blades, they were something wind, I think. Oh man, it's escaping me now. I used to know what it was called. I can picture the diagram in the 2001 catalog where they compare it to a flat blade like on this. Oh gosh, what was it called? It's gonna bother me now. And maybe I'll think of it by the end of the video. But anyways, so this is it. This is a really nice fan. This is one of my favorite styles of fans. I've always really liked these GE Vent models, and a polished brass is just such a great finish for ceiling fans, in my opinion. I think it looks great. These were sold up through the 90s. These were everywhere when I was growing up. These were still commonplace. And unfortunately now they've pretty much gone extinct, which is a shame. I remember seeing all sorts of these types of fans out in public and all over, and now they're gone. I know they still exist in some other parts of the country, but not around here. You just don't see them anymore. It stinks. So anyways, let's go ahead and turn this on. Let's see, is it better with these lights off? It's hard to tell. I guess it's a little better. Okay, so we're still working on the lighting down here. We'll get something better eventually. So this was found new in a box. Actually, it came in that box, and although it looks very similar at first glance, it's not the same fan, because you'll notice that this fan has different irons than this one, and it has a tassel. Now I didn't even notice this when I bought it. I opened it up real quick just to see what was inside, and I saw this. I said, oh, it must be the fan on the box. But then once I started assembling it, I realized that it was different. So I don't know what the story is with that is in regards to where that other fan is. What's kind of interesting is that somebody must have noticed that this was a slightly different model when it was put in that box, because as you saw, all the rest of the stuff aside from the picture was cut off the box as if it was information that was known to no longer be relevant, which is interesting to me because most people that would look at these two pictures, and people that don't care about fans, would never notice that the irons are different, and somebody did, or it sure seems like somebody did. Anyways, let's go ahead and start it up. We'll begin on low. Okay, that's cap. I guess we'll begin on high. Or this is medium. No, we're going to begin on low. Air Cool, in my opinion, made very good quality stuff. As you can see here, we have a 34-year-old ceiling fan now, which has a perfectly good capacitor, dead silent bearings, a little bit of motor noise, but it's very, very quiet, and it moves a tremendous amount of air, even installed like this. And the installation with this length of down rod worked out pretty good in terms of clearance, because the ceiling is very low down here, and so because of the way it's so low, I want to have the fan as high up as possible. So this works out pretty good because it's only a few inches down from the beams. But the problem with that is now, whoops, now the airflow is not going to move through the fan very well. You can see the pitch is pretty good. As I've said many times about these Hampton Bay fans, especially the ones from the 90s, these were very good products, especially for the pretty cheap prices that these sold for at the Home Depot. So I can already feel a considerable amount of air moving from this fan, and the performance again would be much better if it was actually on a normal ceiling with a little bit longer down rod. See if you can get a perspective here of how the down rod is. It's pretty short. I don't think it's more than 3 inches. And there is a slight motor hum. It's very, very minor. It's almost inaudible if you walk across the room, even you can't hear it anymore. Yeah, I really can't even hear it from back here. I know the lighting's not that good, but it should be good enough for you to focus. There we go. Stupid camera. So there's the low. It's kind of a fast low. Actually, no, it's average, I would say. It's pretty average low. Right around 60 RPM, I think. I prefer more of a 30 or 40. This is a very functional low. It's moving pretty good amount of air. I'm surprised it's moving as much air as it is, considering the way the ceiling is. You can see it's pushing pretty good breeze. Okay, let's go up to the medium now. And you can hear that chopping sound, or at least I can in person. I don't know if they'll show up on the video, but there's kind of a chopping sound, which is not normal. That's the turbulence of the air and the blades hitting the beams. That kind of sound would not exist most likely in a normal installation. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Oh, we're getting some solid air now. And it's very quiet. You can hear a little bit of air noise, which again is just because of the way the ceiling is. It's a very, very quiet fan. Runs very smooth. Alright, now we'll go to the high. Pull chain's got a nice sound to it also. Now this thing is really moving. That's some pretty serious air. Probably hear that chopping sound now. It's annoying, but there's nothing you can do about it with the ceiling being like this. You can see it's going pretty fast. That's probably well over 200 RPM. And I can feel a strong gust of air all over the room. I can feel the air coming up from the wall over here. It's moving everywhere down here. Slight wobble, but nothing crazy. The blade's clock seems pretty good. Definitely within a reasonable margin of error. Not something to mess with. I really don't understand why people say these are not good fans. It's very powerful. I don't have a way to measure the power in this installation box, but the motor's rated for 1 amp, so it's got a good draw to it. It definitely's got some power. It does work on the reverse, but I'm not going to show it in this video because it's the same thing, just in the other direction. There's zero bearing noise whatsoever. The bearings are in great condition. I can't hear those bearings at all. Some of these, I believe, had cane blades. I'm not certain. I think one of them, I think there did exist a variant that had cane blades. I wish it did. That's the only thing that this fan lacks is the cane blades. Otherwise, this is like a 10 out of 10 model to me. that's it. It is done spinning down. So that will wrap up the video of this excellent Hampton Bay branded, air-cool manufactured 52-inch Windward ceiling fan in polished brass with the medium oak blades.